Welcome everyone, join us today as we delve into the compelling story of Robin Crosby, the legendary guitarist from the iconic rock band Ratt. From his meteoric rise in the 80s glam metal scene to his personal battles, we'll uncover the highs and lows of his remarkable journey. So let's dive in. Robin Crosby, born Robinson Lance Crosby on August 4, 1959 in Loyola, California, in United States of America. He was the son of Mother Joanne and Father Harry W. Crosby, a science schoolteacher at Loyola High, as well as an author and photographer. He had two sisters, Riston and Bronley. Robin's educational journey took him through Bird Rock Elementary, Mullins Junior High, and Loyola High School, where he graduated in June 1976. Before dedicating himself to the guitar, Robin was actively involved in playing baseball. Crosby's guitar playing was heavily influenced by the legendary Jimi Hendrix, and by the late 1970s, Crosby was a member of several San Diego bands. From 1977 to 1978, he played in Phenomenon, a band that recorded the single The Final Word, which Crosby himself wrote and which was released in 1980. Phenomenon also included future Warrior member Paramore McCarty. During his time with Phenomenon, Crosby took lessons from Tom Beebe, who was known for his exceptional guitar skills reminiscent of Ritchie Blackmore. After Phenomenon disbanded, Crosby and Phenomenon's drummer joined Metropolis from 1978 to 1979, performing popular Judas Priest and Robin Trower songs on the Loyola Beach circuit. Metropolis was short-lived, and in 1979, Crosby collaborated with former members of Phenomenon and Metropolis to form a new band called Secret Service. In 1979, Crosby relocated to Manhattan Beach, California, with his girlfriend Tawny Kitaen. That year, he joined the band Aircraft and recorded a live demo with them, featuring Rob Lamoth, who later joined Riverdogs with Vivian Campbell. In 1981, Aircraft rebranded as Mac Mader, managed by Crosby's brother-in-law. They recorded 6 songs under the Vulture label, but these tracks failed to kickstart their career. Despite this setback, their move to the Los Angeles area allowed Mac Mader to join the thriving club scene, performing at notable venues like the Troubadour in West Hollywood on May 7, 1981. Crosby eventually left Mac Mader and around this time met Stephen Pearcy, who had just started fronting a band called Mickey Ratt. Both musicians had relocated to LA with their respective groups, seeking major record deals but had yet to play in the same band. Los Angeles proved to be fertile ground for their rock and roll style, inspired by the success of bands like Van Halen and Quiet Riot. Soon after, they began playing together in Mickey Ratt, which was later renamed Ratt. Guitarist Warren DeMartini, recommended by Lee, joined the band in January 1982. Bassist Gene Hunter and drummer Kurt Meyer played temporarily before the arrival of Bobby Blotzer and Wayne Cruciat. DeMartini, then only 18 and attending college in San Diego, was initially hesitant to drop out and join a band with limited success. In July 1983, Ratt signed with independent Los Angeles label Time Coast Music, which released the band's 6-track debut EP, Ratt, later that year. An independent UK label, Music for Nations, released a 7-track version in Europe, adding the track You're in Trouble. The EP's success caught the attention of Atlantic Records, which signed the band. Ratt quickly began writing and recording their first full-length album. Out of the Cellar was released in March 1984 to critical and fan acclaim. Tawny Kitaen, Crosby's high school sweetheart, who had appeared on the EP cover, featured on the debut album cover and in the video for Back for More. Crosby co-wrote many of Ratt's hits, including Round and Round, Wanted Man, and Lay It Down. Out of the Cellar went triple platinum, propelled by the success of Round and Round. Crosby's intense touring and recording commitments, coupled with Tawny Kitaen's demanding career, strained their relationship, leading to their breakup in 1984 after 6 years together. There were rumors that Kitaen was involved with O.J. Simpson, who allegedly disapproved of her relationship with Crosby. The album's release was followed by a triumphant world tour, during which the band sold out stadiums and arenas across the globe. They shared the stage with prominent acts like Billy Squier, Ozzy Osbourne, Blackfoot, Iron Maiden, Motley Crue, Twisted Sister, and Lita Ford. Out of the Cellar is now considered the band's finest work and a landmark in 80s heavy metal. While the band would never match the success of the album, they would continue to dominate the 80s with their subsequent albums all going platinum. The band's second full-length album, Invasion of Your Privacy, was released in July 1985 and peaked at number 7 on the charts. The album received mostly positive feedback from both fans and critics. It featured popular tracks like You're in Love and Lay It Down, the latter reaching number 40 on the Hot 100, which secured the band's presence on radio and MTV. The impressive guitar solos by Crosby and DeMartini, combined with Pearcy's provocative lyrics, further cemented the distinctive Ratt sound. While it did not match the commercial success of their debut album, Invasion of Your Privacy was certified double platinum, selling over 2 million copies, and remains highly esteemed among fans. While Ratt was playing to sold-out arenas, internal conflicts were escalating. Stephen Pearcy and Bobby Blotzer clashed over the band's live performances, and constant bickering among band members over trivial issues began to affect Crosby's mental health. Known as King by his peers and fans, Crosby also started feeling overshadowed by guitarist Warren DeMartini. Despite their differing styles, Crosby's blues-based solos provided melodic flavor, while DeMartini's shredding style added intensity. Their contrasting approaches complemented each other and set Ratt apart from other West Coast glam rock bands. However, the growing tension within the band took a toll on Crosby's well-being. To deal with his bruised ego and mounting stress, Crosby started self-medicating with hard drugs and alcohol. At the end of the Invasion tour, Crosby met Playboy playmate Laurie Carr, whom he married in 1987, though they had no children. Known for his rock and roll lifestyle during Ratt's peak, Crosby bought a house in Los Angeles, proudly displaying his platinum albums and owning several cars, including a 1979 Ferrari Dino. Ratt's next release, Dancing Undercover, came out in September 1986 and was met with mixed reviews from critics. However, commercially, it maintained the band's streak of platinum albums. This album marked a shift in Crosby's role, with his lead guitar duties being minimized in favor of DeMartini. To be taken more seriously, Ratt abandoned their tradition of featuring a girl on the cover and instead opted for gritty black and white photos of the band members. The album also departed from their usual style, lacking a single power ballad among its 10 tracks and exploring heavier and thrashier sounds. The band's next album, Reach for the Sky, was released in November 1988. Despite achieving platinum sales and peaking at number 17 on Billboard's album charts, it was largely criticized by reviewers. Critics labeled it as formulaic, immature, and unfocused. Following this album, the band ended their collaboration with longtime producer Beau Hill. However, Reach for the Sky did feature popular tracks like Way Cool Jr. and I Want a Woman, both of which received significant MTV airplay and are now considered glam metal classics. Crosby managed to conceal his heroin addiction from his bandmates for several years, but by 1990, it began to take a toll on his performance. As Ratt entered the studio to record their album Detonator, Crosby left for rehab. Although he played on the album and received some writing credits, it became Ratt's first album not to achieve platinum status, being certified gold instead. After rehab, Crosby rejoined the band for their tour, but maintaining sobriety proved challenging. His substance abuse severely impacted his on-stage performance, leading to the band altering parts of their set, including removing his acoustic intro to Back for More, and modifying other sections where he played lead guitar. Before his final concert in 1991 in Osaka, Japan, his bandmates found him drinking a whole bottle of vodka backstage. Prior to, and after departing from Ratt, Crosby briefly worked as a producer for a few bands, and metal band Lillian Axe. He was promised more production opportunities by new band manager Alan Kovacs, which ultimately never materialized. Eventually, Crosby lost everything. His marriage ended in 1991, he lost his house and cars, and no longer in Ratt. The millions he earned with the band were squandered on his $500 a day drug habit and his divorce, leaving him with nothing. With no friends except his black Labrador, and his former bandmates ignoring him, Crosby's health began to deteriorate. His hopes of starting anew were crushed in 1994 when he was diagnosed with HIV, contracted through his drug use. 2 years after the diagnosis, Ratt planned a reunion. Eager to join his old bandmates, Crosby sold all his possessions and moved to LA. However, during rehearsals, it became clear to the others that he was unfit to perform. Crosby had gained significant weight due to a pancreatic condition affecting his metabolism and was still using drugs. The band decided to reunite without him, leaving Crosby feeling betrayed and continuing his downward spiral. He attempted to work on various musical projects, first reuniting with Perry McCarty, Chris Barato, Dino Guerrero, and Mark Lewis as a revamped version of Secret Service. In 1996, he moved to El Paso and briefly played with the country and western group Bill and Kev and War Party. One of his final projects involved collaborating with ex-Ratt bassist Wayne Crucia. However, Crosby relapsed on heroin after allowing an old friend, who was still using, to move into his new apartment. In 2001, Crosby publicly revealed that he had full-blown AIDS and had been hospitalized multiple times over the past 8 years due to back problems and AIDS-related health issues. To occupy his time, he became a Little League coach and successfully mentored internet sensation Sean Eating, a former boyfriend of Ivanka Trump. In the same interview, Crosby disclosed that he was living in hospice care, which is typically reserved for individuals with incurable, life-ending diseases. Tawny Kitaen, who remained in touch with him, corroborated this during the final months of his life. Tragically, on June 6, 2002, Crosby passed away outside a club in Minneapolis. While his death was initially attributed to complications from AIDS, it was later revealed that he had died from a drug overdose. His girlfriend Lila Frazier was questioned and subsequently arrested for providing the drugs. The autopsy report showed that Crosby was 6 feet 5 inches tall and weighed 400 pounds or 180 kilograms at the time of his death. Sadly, in a 1999 interview, which was aired in 2006 during Rats Behind the Music episode, Crosby expressed, "When I die, nobody cry at my funeral. In fact, let's all have a party. I've lived the life of 10 men. I lived all my dreams and more." Crosby's remains were cremated and his memorial took place at Windansea Beach in La Jolla, California. Friends and family members gathered on surfboards to scatter his ashes into the ocean. He will be remembered as having a heart of gold and generous to those he loved. Interviewers almost always mentioned that he was a sweet and kind person, and a true gentleman, who gave thoughtful interviews, things rarely mentioned about his peers in the business. And there you have it. Thank you for watching our tribute to Robin Crosby. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, for more stories about rock icons. Take care and bye for now.